RiftTV.com reports breaking news. Trump demands Big Pharma reveal the C-19 jabs data as the CDC faces reckoning. Check this out. The facade of triumph is crumbling and truth is crawling its way to the surface. President Donald Trump, once the herald of Operation Warp Speed's Christmas miracle, now stands at a crossroads demanding answers from Big Pharma about the COVID-19 vaccines that he championed. His call for transparency, issued in a fiery Truth Social post, comes as the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention implodes under resignations and dissent, with the vaccine skepticism surging and other bombshell studies linking experimental mRNA shots to spiking cancers in Italy through a peer-reviewed study, by the way. It's a peer-reviewed study in Italy that just came out that was linking that. So it's getting really hard for the detractors here to keep pushing these things because, you know, on one hand, the tech companies are ardent to say that they are helpful and they make sure they censor anybody who suggests otherwise. But then they always told us two things, right? This is what I want to talk about before we go any further, is that they were safe and effective. They are safe and effective because of two groups of people, because the government said they were, and because peer-reviewed science said they were too. And now what's happening is the peer-reviewed science is going against what they said, you know, and it's giving the counterpoint and saying, maybe this is not what we thought it was. And then now the government, the new CDC director is saying, Levi is his last name. Director Levi, it's coming out and saying, actually, we might need to pull these things. They're not helpful. So now you get the government and you have the scientists coming together and saying that they cause turbo cancers and all these things. Now, of course, it doesn't matter. My point is, are the tech companies going to side with the government and the experts now, or are the tech companies on such an agenda because of being funded by the pharmaceutical companies that they're going to continue to say they actually are safe and effective and punish people who say otherwise? That's the question I have.
Yeah, I think the tech giants are going to continue to have pressure to stop people from actually speaking about the jab, anything related to the jab. We might see it lighten up just a little bit because now it's making headlines, but I do believe that they're still going to try to silence people. And the reason we're having the peer reviews come out now, I mean, there was studies before that were done when they were forcing this upon everybody, taking away their jobs, taking away their livelihood, and they would just silence anybody who would speak out against it and just kind of create any false narrative that they wanted. The one thing I want to see, though, is we have this big habit where we go ahead and we expose, oh, this is terrible and that's terrible. And, the administration loves to do that to get the clickbait, to get us all paying attention. But I want to see something actually done. People like Fauci need to be locked away. All those who were, ruining everybody's lives, attacking our military, attacking, families, everybody. I want to see some kind of repercussions for those type of acts. Do I feel hopeful that's going to happen? Most likely not. They'll probably just get us all excited. But at least Trump's somewhat acknowledging the Operation Warp Speed was a terrible idea. There was no severe winter of death as Biden was preaching. And anybody who got the vaccine, my heart goes out to you. I'm very sorry about that. But I think we're just seeing the beginning of the destruction that this is going to have on future generations. Yeah,
okay, but let me read you a couple things here. So that happened, right? Now, the problem was there's this guy named like Dimitri Dakalakis. I don't know if we have let me see if we have some pictures of this guy here because he's absolutely insane. Basically Trump came out today and he's like asking people to shill their data or like express what's behind them, because he said it's very important that the drug companies justify the success of their various COVID drugs. Many people think that they are a miracle that saved millions of lives. I don't know why millions is capitalized. Others disagree. With CDC being ripped apart over this question, I want to answer and I want it now. I have been shown information from Pfizer and others that is extraordinary, but they never seem to show those results to the public. Why not? They go off to the next hunt and then let everyone rip themselves apart, including Bobby Kennedy Jr. and the CDC, trying to figure out the success or failure of the drug companies' COVID work. They show me great numbers and results, but they don't seem to be showing them to many others. I want them to show them now to the CDC, to the public, and clear up this mess. One way or another, I hope Operation Warp Speed was brilliant, as many say it was. If not, we all want to know about it and why. Thank you for your attention to this very important matter, President Donald J. Trump. Okay, so all around about Mendoza, it's like, I feel like this is sort of the tipping point here. He's kind of cracking. He's like, I hope it was good. I hope we find it out, because if it isn't, then we're in some deep shit.
Well, so, I think it's interesting that he's like, oh, well, everyone was saying that Operation Warp Speed was really good. Like, my brother in Christ, you were the one that was saying that Operation Warp Speed was the one that was amazing and saved millions of lives. So it's kind of funny that he's trying to take the blame off of his plate now that he's probably And, you know, I mean, I don't know how much he's actually dug into the data. I mean, I guess I could figure out by watching The Five over the last 2 years and see if they ever talked about it, because that's where he gets most of his information from, and like Gutfeld or something. But it does seem like he's trying to get it off of him, so he's not put with the burden of having pushed Operation Warp Speed. So yeah, it seems like probably these companies will get a reckoning in some form. But, you know, I'm not super hopeful, because these people always do escape accountability somehow, some way or another.
Well, the Sackler family, like a good example is the Sackler family, right? I mean, they opioided the entire country, and so nobody's been prosecuted yet. I mean, the banks too, right? So if you look at the, what was it? What again? They're a family from Connecticut, I think JD Vance said.
Yeah, I was actually just about to bring that up.
Yeah, they're a family from Connecticut. So get back to these Connecticut people. That's where we got that from. These Connecticut people in the banks, in the pharmaceutical companies, it's like, okay, come on. They're not going to be held accountable because they control the judiciary, they control the legislative in our country. You know, this is what people like, you know, that are like, you get the Seth Dillons, the Joel Berrys, and the people that are like, oh, you know, they always say like, oh, the Jew people and stuff. And it's like, well, no, we're not going around lifting up rocks and finding Jews under them, though I imagine in some places you may find them, because trolls are found in rock caves. But
New York sewers,
yeah. Some storm grates. But jokes aside, it's like, no, I'm saying, when I'm saying these people are connected to everything, it's not some sort of an anti-Semitic trope. It's not some delusion. I'm saying that there are tribal people who look out for their own, like all people do, like black people do, like but unlike black people, Jews don't kill each other, right? Jews will get each other's back till the end of time, which is why they get kicked out as a group. Like, it's the entire group takes responsibility for the crimes continually 111 times now, because they all defend each other. And what we're finding here is that, you know, again, you have the same people with Moderna, Pfizer, and the Sacklers with their company. And I just, you know, Trump comes out today praising Israel, praising, you know, Netanyahu. And, you know, the way that our country's set up now, I have no doubt in my mind that there'll be no accountability at all, considering that the only person who could probably try to prosecute or would prosecute would be the director of the HHS. And then he also said that there's an epidemic of anti-Semitism. And I think I have a picture of it here. He says that there's an epidemic of anti-Semitism and is now working with the Department of Homeland Security. Right here, they put this out today after a recent church shooting. Just remind you, Christians were killed. And they said all Americans should be able to practice their religion without fear of terrorism or violence. Under the leadership of President Trump and Secretary Noah, DHS is awarding $110 million, yes, praise God, to all the churches that keep getting shot up and burned, to more than 600 faith-based, what is that? Not churches, faith-based organizations. Never heard churches called faith-based organizations. No. And other nonprofits across the U.S. to help protect houses of worship. Those sound like a lot of words that don't sound like churches. This funding, administered through FEMA's nonprofit security grant program, may be used on security enhancements like security cameras, additional warning and alert systems, gates and lighting, access control systems, and training programs for staff. I remember that there was also a recent, you know, another transgender that shot up that other Christian school as well. Let me think about this. So who's getting this money? $110 million. Well, I bet you because Christianity is the number one religion, you know, practiced in this country, and it's the number one target of all persecution in the world, and also in our own country. That, you know, I mean, even the Jews target churches and stuff in their own country. You've got to be giving at least $94 million to Christians, right? I mean, you would expect at least, you know, the majority. What is this? Okay, what is this? Homeland Security. $94 million of this is going to help protect 512 Jewish faith-based organizations. So not even synagogues, just like organizations, just Jewish businesses. We're spending $100 million of this to protect Jews, not Christians. Okay, so try to defend this to me, Henny, because this is crazy. Yeah, that are targeted for violence. Oh, I'm sorry, you guys drew a swastika yourselves on the building and got caught doing it. We're being slaughtered out here by transgenders, and you're over here giving our money to Jewish, not synagogues, faith-based organizations. This is where they play the game of ethnicity and religion. It's like, well, it's not really an ethnic center. Imagine if they gave it to white only and Christian. Imagine if they gave $94 million to Arval. You know, that's what they're doing here. Yeah. They're giving the money to Jews to be sectarian, identitarian, and have their ethnocentric places of gathering in our country. It's absolutely insane.
Yeah, I mean, Donald Trump, some say Zion Don. Unfortunately, it always goes back to Israel. They, make sure that they put Israel first before America. We see that here as far as, that's why they had the special wording so they can make sure they can send the money to organizations. They're not going to send them to Christian churches. We see the same thing when people talk bad on social media and want to come into the United States to get citizenship. They're checking to make sure that if you ever question Israel. So it's just really sad, but it just pulls the veil off a little bit more. We can see which country that they're going to continue to put first. I mean, even Trump came out today and he gave it was either today or yesterday, he put out a tweet or in True Social where he's like talking about Israel and he's like, well, Israel doesn't have full control of the house anymore or something like that. And then right after he's talking about how, Israel is amazing and October 7th was the same as, the Holocaust. So the blind allegiance
he
is
said
gonna
that
be
today,
like,
huh?
Yeah.